Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Daily Fantasy Digest Podcast, the all-inclusive podcast where we talk all things fantasy sports to help give you an edge. Once again, I'm your host, Joe Bewer, and today we are back with another breakdown of the June 12th 8-game Wednesday slate. This is a 8-game slate starting at 6:05. I think this is going to be a slate where a lot of edge is to be had for pitching, as well as bats as well. Really enjoying this slate, breaking this down, so I think that everybody's going to really enjoy this and make some very significant amounts of money tomorrow with the information I'm about to break down. So let's jump right into it. Let's just get into these pitching options as well as bat stacks and go through my favorite plays. 3 pitchers above 10K today. Interested in one of them, and then a lower price guy as well. I think paying up for pitching here is going to be pretty important. A few things I want to note. Justin Verlander's over 11K at home against Milwaukee. Do not trust this price at all. Milwaukee's been just so hot all year. And I don't really want to, kind of chase the bandwagon of Verlander and the K upside that he has, especially going up against players like Moustakas, Yelich, Lorenzo Cain. I really don't want to chase that at all. The pitcher that I'm really excited about is Mike Soroka. He's been pretty incredible all year, roughly 23.1 fantasy points per game. He's been just incredible over the past 4 games. And he just has really good stuff and doesn't give up very many runs at all. Has only given up more than 1 run all year, and that was in a start against Detroit 2 games ago. So I think that he goes really deep into games, so I think Soroka is just a great option here and seems to be Atlanta's ace as of recent, and I really just want to go ahead and dive in with Soroka as SP1. Now, I don't like Berrios against Minnesota or against Seattle. I am a big fan of Lucchesi tomorrow. I think that he's in an incredible spot. I'm going to really want to take advantage of that. And I'm also a big fan of Miles Mikolas against Miami tomorrow if he does play. It says he's going to play now. He's day-to-day with going with the injury. And I don't really want to risk, going up against, somebody who's going to be playing with an injury. It's not something that I really want to mess with. But this is looking like what it's going to be tomorrow for pitching. It's just going to be a very high slate for pitching. I'm going to be spending up a lot for pitching tomorrow, so I think this is the way to go. Pivot off Soroka would be Mikolas. Lucchesi is a lock for me, but Mikolas is a good option off of Soroka if you wanted to go a GPP option if he is going to go deep into games. Alrighty, let's jump into these bat stacks really quick. Favorite bat stack of the day is Atlanta going up against Keller, who's just an absolutely terrible pitcher. If we just go ahead and look at Keller's numbers really quick, he's just been terrible. He lasted 4 innings, gave up 6 earned. He has some very nice K stuff. I don't really see that lasting as Atlanta's just been incredibly hot all year. A few players that run target. I really want to target Markakis and Ozzie Albies as the 2 players that I really want to take into consideration tomorrow. I would like to fit in Freddie Freeman, but I think if you pay for pitching tomorrow, it's going to be really hard to fit in any 5K price guys tomorrow. So I really want to take into consideration at least a piece of this Atlanta team. I could see you going Josh Donaldson as well if you wanted to go there, as well as potentially Brian McCann if he is going to start. If Brian McCann starts, I think he's an incredible play at 3.5K. Let's jump into another game that I really want to stack is this Baltimore-Toronto game. Both sides of it, actually. I really want to attack David Hess tomorrow, and I think Freddie Galvis is the way to go. I think Freddie Galvis as well as Rowdy Tellez are 2 of the players that I really want to target, assuming Tellez plays, but Smoke could get the start. But Freddie Galvis is a player that I really want to target, and I'd like to get Eric Sogard in there if you can. But on the side of Baltimore, I think you get a lot of value here tomorrow with players like Keon Broxton, Steve Wilkerson, who's a switch hitter. I really want to lock Steve Wilkerson in and kind of work my way down from there. You have Rio Ruiz as well, who's very low priced. So I think this is going to be the way to go tomorrow as far as stacking teams is concerned. I think that paying down for a catcher is really going to give you that option that you need to go ahead and get some of these players. You can find a lot of catchers just scraping the barrel, like Luke Mail at 2.7K, Cam Gallagher. I'm going up against Daniel Norris, Martin Maldonado. Any of these players that you put in, even Austin Hedges, I would really like Austin Hedges tomorrow at catcher. Even if you plug in one of these guys, you're automatically up to almost 4K, and you can just go ahead and get a way better player But for me, I would end up paying low price for catcher and go somewhere around Manny Pena, 2.4K. I think that Manny Pena has just had an average year. Hit a homer in the past 4 games. Could see him potentially putting one on Verlander. But I think that paying up for the other positions and just scraping the barrel at catcher is the way to go. But definitely stacking this Atlanta game if you can. I do like a Josh Donaldson. If you don't have Rio Ruiz, I would definitely go with a Josh Donaldson in there and work your way down from there. 3,500 per player is not hard to see tomorrow, but I think Atlanta's definitely the team to stack going up against Keller. Fitting in some pieces from Toronto and Baltimore, such as Freddie Galvis. I wouldn't mind Vlad Guerrero or Eric Sogard, but I like Galvis tomorrow hitting deep into the lineup, as well as some plays from Baltimore like Steve Wilkerson at just a one-off 3,600 play. I think Atlanta's definitely the team to stack tomorrow. As many players as you can from that. Ozzie Albies, Donaldson, and Markakis are my 3 favorites. And my pitching stacks tomorrow are going to be Soroka and Lucchesi. I definitely think you use this Toronto and Baltimore game for potential, value. Players, on the lower end just seem really nice to me. Another player that I want to talk about, Keon Broxton, just an incredible player. Doesn't mean necessarily a lock and load play tomorrow, but just a very good value tomorrow if you can fit him in. And I wouldn't mind a Chris Davis at first base if you can fit him in there. It's pretty easy to fit him in there at 2.9K. Just a lefty back going up against Edwin Jackson. I think Edwin Jackson's just going to get absolutely shelled tomorrow. If Chris Davis plays, 2.9K seems super, super cheap for him tomorrow. So just keep that in mind when building the lineup tomorrow. I think that Atlanta's definitely the team to stack. For pitchers, I'm going to go Soroka and Lucchesi for the most part. If Mikolas is good to go and is going to go deep into games, I would switch out Soroka for Mikolas just to get a little more GPP upside to be able to get some bats. I think for cash games and just for my overall lineup build tomorrow, Soroka and Lucchesi, it's going to look like the players that I'm going to want to lock into my lineup. Definitely want Ozzie Albies, Markakis, and Josh Donaldson in my lineups tomorrow. If you can get Freddie Freeman, by all means pay up. But I think that the value is going to come from Toronto and Baltimore tomorrow, and getting some pieces from those types of games. So yeah, this is roughly what it's going to look like tomorrow. As we always do on this slate, on these videos, we do a dinger of the day call. Which player is going to hit a homer? For me, tomorrow it's going to be Ozzie Albies. He's been absolutely on fire lately. I think that, what he's been doing as of late has just been incredible. 2 homers in the past 4 games. Double-digit fantasy points in 3 of the past 4 games. He's just been absolutely heating up lately in 4,300. It's just not a price tag that should scare anybody off. It seems actually too low for me. So Ozzie Albies is going to be my dinger of the day call in the thumbnail of this video. Like I said, this is roughly what my lineup's going to look like for tomorrow. By all means, switch out as many players as you want, but Atlanta is definitely the team to stack, and Toronto and Baltimore is where I'll be finding my value. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and subscribe if you're on Apple Podcasts. Stay up to date with all of the podcasts. Leave a like and a comment. Let us know what you think of the podcast and the breakdown. And if you're on Twitter, please go ahead and follow the podcast at @FantasyDodgers_. See all the updates that we tweet out before lock, as well as staying up to date with all the videos that we tweet out on Twitter. By all means, let us know what you think. Shoot us DM, tweet at us. We'll be sure to answer and get back to you as soon as possible with any lineup questions. And as always, we'll be coming out with more breakdowns and interviews later this week. Hopefully some good ones that everybody's going to enjoy. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, peace.